Well, hello everybody, and welcome. I'm just playing a little of that classic Eddie Murphy track, "Party All the Time." It's me, it's Shimmern Cintamint. How are you doing today? How are you? My girl likes to party all the time, party all the time. Yeah, that's a great track. We are here in the lab in mid-January again. All of y'all have been asking me for an AMA. Y'all want to do an AMA with me and ask me anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that AMA right here. This is a live stream. We are coming to you here live from the lab, from the Shimmern Cintamint lab. Now, I've got a few questions here that have already come in through the app. It's a lot of questions coming out here. I'm not gonna say who these questions are coming from, but you all know who you are. So I'm just gonna select a couple questions here, and then we'll give you some answers. So here's a good one right here. What question do you most hate being asked? And that's a really good question. The question that I most hate being asked is any question at all. I don't like answering any questions from anybody. What's your favorite article of clothing that you own? Where did you get it and how long have you had it? Well, my favorite article of clothing has got to be this cardigan right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. This has got a half of a bulldog, a French Terrier, or some kind of a dog. And this was something that I picked up at Herberger's when I was at home in Fargo a couple Christmases ago. And it was the day before Christmas, and there was a real good sale on a lot of Christmas sweaters. So this one happened to be $5. It was really nice sale. And it's a nice warm sweater. It's a very festive sweater. There's some jeweled, bedazzled things happening on it. And it wasn't actually a cardigan when I purchased it. It was a full sweater. But I just went ahead and cut it so I could have a nice cardigan to wear. You can wear that over the top of anything, really. You could put on a t-shirt on underneath this shirt, or you could put another sweater on underneath it if that's your thing. I like to just kind of wear it as is without anything underneath it, and that feels kind of good to me. So that has got to be my favorite article of clothing. You'll always catch me wearing that when I go down to the store or anywhere at all, really. Here's a good one. What did you know was a mistake as soon as you decided to do it, and why did you go through with it anyway? Well, I think yeah, I guess I don't have an answer to that question. So let's just go ahead and skip ahead to the next one here. What's a brief summary of your outlook on life? That's a good question. My outlook on life is to just live every single day as if you are a caged animal in a zoo. Always behave as if you are in a zoo, as if people are walking by watching you eat your food, watching you sleep, watching you defecate. Everything that you do is under the eyes of everybody at all times. So always behave as if you are a creature locked up in a zoo, because that's all we are, folks. Hate to be the bearer of bad news there or to bring down the mood, but that's what we are. Here we go. Here's a really good one. What are you most likely to be arrested for, even if you don't do anything illegal? What crime do you think you're most likely to commit? Oh boy, that's a really good one. Thank you for that question. I might be most likely to be arrested for going out in public wearing this here cardigan. I think walking around in this here getup is probably going to get me a fine at least. Maybe not arrested, but at least a fine. So that's okay. You know, everybody gets arrested at some point in their life. So, you know, if it's got to be that, then that's what it's got to be. That is a wonderful, wonderful question. What historical event would you most like to have experienced? Well, you know, I'm an old Navy man myself. And so I'm an old Navy veteran. You know, all the shipwrecks and everything that's happened. You might think that I would say the Titanic, or, you know, being on the USS Independence during World War II days, or maybe the Lufthansa, or something like some kind of a shipwreck situation. But I know. So when the Eiffel Tower went up in old France there, I would love to see them draw that big sheet up and over the Eiffel Tower to reveal it for the first time. I think that would be quite a thing to see, because when that thing was revealed, it was the largest piece of equipment on the whole planet. And they had to build themselves a big crane to pull that big old sheet up and over the Eiffel Tower. So the crane ended up being the biggest thing on the planet at that time. So that would be the most important thing that I would of historical significance that I would see as an old Navy veteran. No, I would think that the unveiling of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, would be the number one historical event for me. But thanks for that question. That was a terrible question. What I would like to answer next here. Let's see, I think I've got time for 2 more questions. What's a quirk of yours that few people know about? A quirk of yours? That's a funny question, quirk. I would go ahead and flip that question and reverse it. What is a quirk of yours that you would like people to know about? And I would venture a guess that a quirk of yours that most people don't know about is that you shoplift butt plugs. I think you are somebody who goes into a porn shop and you're quick to hoist those butt plugs and you stick them in your back pocket and you just walk out of there. I think that's a quirk that you have. You better think about that one, because that might get you arrested. We talked about that earlier. Now, I got time for one more question here. There was one question here that I really did like. Most of these questions I don't like at all. But thank you for being part of my AMA, Shimmern Cintamint's AMA. What is your favorite word and why? My favorite word, no, that's not a good one. What's a childhood habit or preference that you'll never outgrow? Let's see. Here's a really good one to end on. What is the most memorable meal you've ever had, and what made it so memorable? I have got to say, and I think most of you know the answer to this question, but I've got to say that my most memorable meal, it's got to be my great-great-grandmama Helga Slavenloop's cold potato cookies and that lukewarm potato milk. That is the most memorable meal that I've ever had, and that was a meal that I had every single Christmas Eve for 40 years, and it was delicious. And I can't thank my great-great-granny Hildut Slavenglurp just enough for all of those wonderful tastes and smells. Come there, just plain cold potato cookies, no sugar in that. Just like your great-great-grandmama used to make back in the Depression times. So that's probably my most favorite meal. Thank you for asking that question. And one final question here. What cliche do you think is bullshit? Wow, now it's language. I don't know about this. I'm not going to answer that question because I don't believe in cliches. If you're a character in a movie, book, or television show, what genre would you live in? That's a very interesting one now. I think the genre that I would live in would probably be, so it might be a sci-fi movie, actually, a sci-fi horror movie. I like a horror movie on occasion. It's a little bit like how we live now. I feel like a sci-fi horror. We're living in a period where we have access to AI. Everything is on AI these days. We've got people going to Mars. We've got people going to the bottom of the ocean and getting stuck down there because they're dummies. I think we're kind of close to living in an AI hellscape, and yeah, I think the genre that I would most inhabit would probably have to be a sci-fi horror movie, just because of that. Because of that, we're constantly on the run. We're at high anxiety. If you ever watched a horror movie, everybody in that movie is always on the peak. They're always ready to. Something's gonna jump out of the shadows and scare them or slash their throat, and that's where we are all the time. And every time you wake up, there might be some new horror unfolding in front of you on your device. So that's where we are, folks. Thank you so much for participating in this AMA. We love to hear those questions from folks. Thank you for taking part and sending in those lovely questions to me, to Shimmern Cintamint here. I'm going to play you out here with a little bit more of that Eddie Murphy tune, Party All the Time. Here we go, folks. Thank you so much, folks. We're going to say goodbye with Churry. Let me put this bass down and we're going to grab Churry, even though she don't want to. I can guarantee that. She just wants to continue lying down, getting her rest. Here we go. Say goodbye, Churry. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to your adoring fans, little tiny Churry girl. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful new year. Happy January. And do take care. Shimmern Cintamint out.